What's going on, everybody? KingofDragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the McFarlane Toys DC Zack Snyder's Justice League Darkseid. And so here we have Darkseid posed and out of the packaging. Before we take a look at the figure, let's actually run through his accessories really fast. Darkseid does come with his axe mace weapon that we saw in the Snyder cut, which does look really nice. I am impressed by the detail. And then we also get the standard McFarlane display stand. Other than that, Darkseid doesn't come with anything else, so let's get a closer look at his details. And so here we have a closer look at Darkseid, and I have to give it up to McFarlane. This is one of the best Darkseid head sculpts that I have seen in a really long time. It is absolute perfection, especially when you compare it to movie stills. It looks really nice. If anything, the one thing I think might be a little bit off is the skin tone. I think his skin tone could be a little bit darker. But other than that, this is a gorgeous looking figure. Now, there are two versions of Darkseid. We do have this version and then a version that is coming out for Comic-Con, which hasn't been announced where it is yet. By the time this video goes up, it's probably already been announced. So really looking forward to that Darkseid. But yeah, really loving the detailing on him. All the cracking in his face is done well. There's a nice black wash in some areas. Kind of wish that black wash was done throughout his head. Really do like the color of his lips right there and his piercing orange eyes, which look really good. Really love his little jaw piece right here. I don't really know what to call it. I know some people have called it a crown. Some people call it a helmet. But yeah, it looks really nice. And McFarlane did go with marbleized plastic, which I'm not complaining. It looks really nice on this figure. And just the look of him, it looks really nice. And one thing I am a little bit disappointed about is this gap right here. Now, you can close up the gap right there and have Darkseid looking up. But yeah, I kind of like him looking down because Darkseid looks up to nobody. He looks down on the entire universe. Really happy with the detailing on Darkseid here. Really like his armor piece right here on his back. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the battle damage that Ares caused, which would be like a huge crack right here. But I understand why they went with this design. It's how he appeared in the movie. Even though in the movie, when he wore his full suit of armor, he still had the battle scar right here. So yeah, Darkseid holds grudges. Who would have ever imagined that? Something to point out is that his helmet is a loose and soft piece. As you can see right here, it does move around. If you really wanted to, you could take it off, and I have seen some people complain that in package the jaw piece is like up here to like his mouth, but you can always adjust it. There's nothing wrong with it, in all honesty. Some people just like to complain. So having a look at this figure, this is basically shirtless Darkseid. As you can see, he's not wearing his armor. And one thing that bothered me, but I like the design, is this concave in his chest. It kind of does make an Omega symbol right here. It looks really strange and alien, but that's perfectly fine for Darkseid. He's not supposed to be human. And I really like the detailing in his skin. Now, one thing I kind of wish was a little consistent was the shading. You can see we do have a dark streak right here, but then we don't have anything else. It almost looks like they had their finger right here when they were spraying it, move their finger, and then that's what caused this. We do have some shading right here on the side, but it's not consistent. I would like to see some consistent shading throughout his torso. And they did at least do some shading on his back, so that's really nice. We have some shading right here on his shoulders. Really loving the skin design of Darkseid. Now, this is how he appeared in the flashback where he battled the old gods, as well as the Atlanteans and the Amazonians. So it's really accurate to the scene. Really like the gauntlet here. Again, it is done in that marbleized plastic. This really nice rich blue. Even though it seemed almost gray black in the movie, it still had a bluish tint to it. So if you really want to customize this so that it has a darker tint, you can absolutely do that. Now, I have seen a lot of people complain that this Darkseid's torso is way too thin. And you know, I can see some arguments saying that was right. But then going back and watching the movie, he actually did have a torso like this. So it's fairly accurate, especially when you want to recreate the scene where he had his arms out. His arms did appear longer than what they should have been, and his torso was really slender. I really don't see an issue with the way his torso looks, and with the Comic-Con version with the overlay, I'm pretty sure the overlay is going to bulk him out a little bit. So if they had made this figure a little bit bulky, that overlay would look terrible. So I understand why they went with a thinner Darkseid. Then we do have his skirt piece right here, which has the same design right here. Looks really, really good. I do like it. Really like this little design, the motif on it. It looks really alienish, but it's armor. And one thing I do like is that it still creates the skirt piece that Darkseid is known for, except instead of going all the way around, we do have a slit right here, and he has armor on his thighs that recreate that skirt piece. So really ingenious design right there. And then of course we do have his greaves right there, which go all the way around, and again they do have that marbleized plastic. And I do like that everything that you see on him that is blue is a separate piece, so there is no paint on the blue whatsoever. So gotta give McFarlane credit that they actually made all the blue bits blue, and what should be gray is gray. So yeah, really do like the way Darkseid came out. I think I'll be a little more happy when I have the Comic-Con version, but I'm still very impressed with this figure. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get Darkseid compared to other figures you may have in your collection. And so here we have Darkseid posed next to a Marvel Legends Cyclops and a DC Multiverse Superman. Here we have Darkseid posed next to a WWE Elite Scale figure in a Mezco 1/12 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man. Here we have Darkseid posed next to a Lightning Collection White Ranger and a Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian. Here we have Darkseid posed next to a McFarlane Build-A-Figure The Merciless. Here we have Darkseid posed next to the McFarlane Last Night on Earth Build-A-Figure Bane and Scarecrow. Here we have the McFarlane Multiverse Darkseid posed next to the DC Universe Classics Darkseid. Here we have the McFarlane Multiverse Darkseid posed next to the Storm Collectibles Injustice Darkseid. And finally, here we do have Darkseid posed next to the McFarlane Mega Figures Steppenwolf. So with the comparisons out of the way, let's actually have a look at Darkseid's articulation now. Darkseid does have a double ball joint here at the head, which does allow him to look up really far. I do like that articulation. Even though Darkseid would never look up like that, he can do it, and then he can look down to about right there. We get some really impressive head tilts, so I am happy about that. And of course, he does turn left and right, no problem. Arms are on ball joints that do pivot forward and back a little bit, up and down, but we really don't get too much forward and back movement, so it's almost non-existent. They do go out to the side all the way, no problem. Then they do go all the way around, and because he doesn't have anything hindering him right here, they go all the way around nicely. He does have a bicep swivel right here. We get double bend at the elbow, which does go pretty far for a big guy. That is really good range right there. He doesn't have a ball hinge at the wrist, unfortunately. He just has a swivel and a hinge, so we don't get all the play that I would like, but it is better than nothing. And he does get probably one of the best torso joints I've seen on a McFarlane figure. He does lean back about that far. He can lean forward about that far. We get some really impressive tilt as well as side-to-side rotation. Then we get a secondary ball joint at his waist, which lets him lean back that far. Going forward, look at that crunch. That is how every figure should be from now on, no exception. And then of course, because it is on a ball joint, we get some very impressive lean. So Darkseid here, despite being a massive figure, has some pretty good articulation, so I do like that. Legs do kick forward to about right there, kick back to about right there, go out to the side. They would do a full split, but you can see his rubber skirt piece does kick the leg back down to about 45 degrees. Impressively, we do get a thigh swivel here on Darkseid, so I do like that. Unfortunately, we only get single bend at the knee, and it doesn't go the full 90 degrees. I have tried forcing it and heating it up, but yeah, that is about as far as it goes back. So that is unfortunate. We do have rotation at the bottom of the knee. We do have rotation at the foot. a hinge in the ankle, which works fine. And then of course we do have your standard McFarlane rocker ankle, although it is very stiff on Darkseid, and I'm worried about breaking it, so I don't use the rocker ankle too much. Once I have him planted, he pretty much stands on his own because his feet are huge and he stands perfectly fine. So overall, no complaints about this Darkseid's articulation. It's one of the better Darkseid in terms of articulation, and you really can't go wrong with the details. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get Darkseid posed for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And so here we have the McFarlane DC Multiverse Darkseid pose for my final thoughts, and overall I think McFarlane has done a fantastic job with this particular version of Darkseid, and given the source material, they did an excellent job here. I am really impressed by it. I think McFarlane knocked it out of the park with this Darkseid. I am a little disappointed that they made the armored version a Comic-Con exclusive, which unfortunately is going to be a store exclusive. At the time I'm making this video, we don't have any information on it. It could be a Target or Walmart exclusive, could be Amazon exclusive. More than likely it's going to be a big box retailer, so be on the lookout for that pre-order when it goes up. This Darkseid, however, is still a very impressive figure in his own right. I do like the detailing that they put on him. And like I said, a lot of people have said that his torso is kind of thin, though I can agree with it after looking at stills from the movie and rewatching the movie. It's actually fairly accurate to what Darkseid looked like in that particular scene, so the waist isn't an issue for me. I really do love the way his weapon looks. I have no idea what to call it. It's like an axe, it's like a spear, it's like a mace, it's like everything he needs to just wipe out a planet, and this is a very, very nice figure to have. The detailing on him is superb, and for a figure as massive as he is, the articulation is very good. I think this is one of the better figures that McFarlane has made, with great articulation and fantastic details. Now, one thing that might turn people off from this figure is the price. Darkseid is running you $40, which is a pretty steep price, but seeing as how he is a very massive figure, I think the $40 price tag is justified. Maybe if he was $30, that would also be justifiable, but $40 is more than fair, seeing as how he is fairly detailed and has great articulation. If you are looking for this Darkseid, he is starting to hit stores at the time I'm making this video, so be on the lookout for him. I actually got mine from Amazon.com, so if you ordered from Amazon, you should be getting your Darkseid very soon. With that being said, guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and check out all my other action figure reviews, as well as all my other DC Multiverse videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you'd like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it's in my collection, I'll be more than happy to take a look at it. As always, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, and I always post something new that I pick up on Instagram first, so be on the lookout for that. And as always, everybody, have a great day and take care. I'll see you later.